I'm just gonna give up on using my phone as a microphone because I keep I keep getting interrupted. No offense, Mother and my very beloved boyfriend, I love you both. Anyway, so, if I actually get my fucking paw on like I was supposed to, let me do that. So, hi. I'm making this video a lot later than I wanted to. Honestly, I wanted to have a new video out a week after my last upload, and obviously that did not go as planned. But I promise you I will start uploading a little bit more often, considering I do have a little bit more time now. So, to start, I thought what better way to revamp my YouTube channel is to reintroduce myself, considering all my old content is, well, it's not gone, but it's all unlisted because I'm doing something completely different now than I used to. And I thought, what better way to do that than to tell you guys a little bit about my experience of a furry, how I became a furry, and, you know, just my overall love for the fandom. So anyway, funny enough, it all started because of a stupid little Halloween event at a police station years ago that I think started a whole domino effect for me. And that was somebody wearing, like, it wasn't a fursuit, but it was this cheap-ish kind of mascot costume, I want to say, of, I think it was a lion, if I remember correctly. And one, I thought it was really cool, and second of all, I was just thinking to myself, like, next year, instead of dealing with all this, like, you know, face paint and shit, because I always had to have my face painted for Halloween, obviously, instead of dealing with all different kinds of, like face paint and worrying about messing it up and stuff, to maybe just try and find, you know, a cheap mascot costume for the, you know, the following year, which, I didn't actually even know the name for a mascot costume. But anyway, the following year came, and I started looking up costumes. I said I didn't know what the fuck a mascot costume was. I mean, I did know what it was, but I didn't know the name for it. I didn't know what a furry was at the time either. I just remember looking up costumes with the head. I don't even know what that means to this day. Like, I know what I was trying to say, but it didn't come out as good as I think I thought it did, but that's not really relevant. And I think because the internet being the way the internet is, it saw my search history, and I was on YouTube all of the time. And I mean, like, all the time. Like, if I wasn't doing anything, I was literally just on YouTube. So, considering I had just done a little bit of research looking for a costume unsuccessfully because, you know, I didn't know what the hell they were, and also how expensive they were at the time, I got recommended this one YouTube channel in particular, which was what I believe to be my complete gateway into the furry fandom, and that was Al the Wolf. I have no idea to this day if he still makes videos or what he's doing now or anything, because it has been years since I've seen any of his videos, or even looked him up for that matter. I'll probably put, you know, around here if he still makes content or not, because I'll probably look it up after, like, you know, while I'm editing this. But I remember at the time believing that, you know, like, thinking, like, oh my god, his costume is so cool, you know, it's so creative, I loved his content, like, I loved it, like, way back when. I thought it was the coolest shit ever, that somebody could make, you know, have, like, this mascot costume, and then also be able to make all these creative videos with it at the same time. And, you know, watching one furry, obviously you're gonna start to get recommended other furries as well. And I think from there I discovered Beauty of the Base and, like, Telephone, you know, all the really well-known, very popular furries. And that's when I got to the point where I was like, oh my god, I wish I was a furry, you know, being like a 10, 11 years old. I had no idea that you didn't have to have a fursuit to be a furry. But, you know, I was just learning about the fandom to begin with. I didn't know much about it yet, other than, you know, oh my god, look at these cool costumes, you're really cute, you can be a silly little animal, you know? I just thought that was cool. And obviously the longer I looked into it, the more I actually learned, and I started to create my own character. Although, it was a little hard for me to even get started with creating my own character because, well, I didn't know how to draw yet at the time. I mean, I was, like I said, I was like 10, 11 years old. The most I knew how to draw was like very, very simple doodles that my grandmother taught me how to do. Like, obviously like little kid drawing type skill at the time. So I ended up taking some, either tracing other people's work or being heavily inspired by them. Which, obviously, I do not condone doing that. Do not do that. I was a kid. I didn't really know anybody at the time. I was just like, oh, look, I have these goofy characters. There's no other way of knowing how to express it. I actually had a friend at the time, which I still do talk to from time to time, but we're not as close as we used to be. She had so many different, like, little OCs at the time already. I believe, I don't know if they identified it as a furry back then or not. I'm pretty sure they did, but I don't think they're a furry anymore. But they do still do draw and have OCs. But anyway, yeah. So she did draw my my persona at the time a couple times, and I may or may not have either traced or, yeah, like I said, was heavily inspired by their work. But honestly, she did kind of inspire me to continue drawing to begin with, or to draw. So, you know, sorry about tracing your old work. Please don't be mad at me. We were kids. Or trying to copy your art style. But I mean, hey, I'm a whole new artist now because of you, so give yourself a thumbs up, I guess. But anyway, that's kind of irrelevant. So through that, and through my friend at the time, I got very into creating my own OCs, and that is how I made my very first persona, Rose. And this is, you know, not my very first piece of art of her, period, because at the time, like I said, I did used to trace a lot, or just, like, recolor, like, clip art or something that I found online. But I believe this is my first piece of art that I drew completely on my own digitally. Obviously, it's not the best, but again, mind you, I was like 10, 11 years old when I drew this at first. And I actually do still have this character. She is my pride and joy, actually. She has changed a lot with me throughout the years. Like, she was my persona for, God, I want to say, like, 75% of the time that I've been a furry. Up until, I want to say, high school, I think. I think that's when I started to actually experiment with different characters. Like, I had this dude for a while. I still do have him, but he's not my persona anymore. I actually do have a fursuit of him, but it's in the other room, and I'm not gonna go get it. But here's a picture of the fursuit of him. Obviously, I went basic bitch furry mode with the classic blue dog, but I mean, he was a blue alien dog with 3 eyes, so I thought that was creative enough to be original. I still love him, though. He's still my baby, still part of me in a way, but obviously he's not my persona anymore. This is my current persona. His name is Tragedy, and I love him to death. I know, yeah. So hopefully, I'll be able to stick with him now that I've gotten out of the basic bitch furry phase of basic blue dog. But even though Rose is not my persona anymore, she is definitely still part of me, like, big time. She has been, like, obviously my self-expression for so many years. And she has changed, like, I know I've said it a million times already, but she's changed a lot. Like, here are some examples of, like, redesigns that she went through in the past. I don't have much of this old art. A lot of it is lost, unfortunately. Because of, you know, a lot of the old drawings being on broken tablets and having no way to recover them. Or, well, back in middle school, I kind of, accidentally left myself logged in on YouTube on the school computers, so people thought it'd be funny to go on my channel and delete my old content, so, you know, I have no way of recovering some of it. But you can still kind of see the point. She's gone through many different designs with me, and changes in her personality. And this is what she looks like now. Partly, this is kind of half and half. It's actually 2 different OCs, but it's my most recent artwork that I have of her, so I figured it'd be good enough. So, yeah, she's been a major part of me for so many years. And, you know, obviously through her and all my drawings of her throughout the years and my online presence, I've met some really, really sweet people in the fandom. And obviously through these people, I've discovered more and more about the fandom and, you know, good things and bad things, unfortunately. We all know about the stereotypes. God, the stereotypes. Okay, so, through those people, I've realized that this community is super sweet. It's full of very creative people like myself, and honestly, I have never felt so accepted in any community, like, when compared to the furry community. Like, people that I've never even known have supported me, like, throughout almost the whole time that I've even been, you know, on any social media platforms. People have always been super kind and, like, you know, defending me from, like, haters, especially when I was younger and I didn't know better than, you know, to just fucking ignore them or delete the comments, obviously. That would probably be smart to do, but I never did at the time because, you know, I was a kid and to this day, I'm still pretty sensitive, I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, I met some super cool people, made some really good friends. I have some really cool mutuals now, even though I don't talk to a lot of those people from when I was younger. Like when I was like still a newer like baby fur, as I want to say. Not like that kind of baby fur, obviously. Not that kind of baby fur. Like I said, new to the fandom kind of baby fur. Do not get them mixed up. Please, for the love of God. Anywho. Outside of that clarification, there are still so many really sweet people that I have met, and I have seen so many people do really, really good things in this community. Honestly, I don't even know what to say in terms of like how I've experienced the fandom. It's always just been something really, really nice for me. Very like open. And considering it's accepting not even in terms of just being a big goofball, like to dress up in an animal costume for fun, but also the fact that I am very queer, and I am disabled. I do have Tourette syndrome, and I am neurodivergent. I don't have an exact diagnosis, but a lot of my symptoms do align with ASD. If that wasn't obvious by my basically, I almost have like a fucking shrine over here of my current hyperfixation. But, considering that this community is full of people like myself, it has been one of the nicest things to have found and experienced. And to think it all happened just because one person decided to wear some really not even that good mascot costume to a Halloween event. It's just like, even though obviously I have had struggles a lot in the past too with the fandom, with really bad people. I honestly had a bit of a hiccup where I thought that Kira the Wolf was innocent, which if you don't know about Kira the Wolf, consider yourself lucky. Yeah, I used to defend him at the time, not knowing. I don't anymore, I promise you. I just had a lot of hiccups, and I've always wanted to see the good in people, and I wanted him to be innocent so bad, because I was a huge fan of him. And there was honestly like some things that I really didn't understand. I wasn't really that good of a person back then, that's for sure. But like this community definitely has taught me to be a better person, and even through not even just this community specifically, but other communities similar to, like people like cosplayers and whatnot, just people that are like myself. I have found all these different people and learned a lot of things that I didn't know before. Like, you know, not to judge others, for one, at all, ever. Do not do that. Also, I was I was pretty manipulative back then. I'm not going to lie. I don't really want to call it a real relationship, considering I was still 12, 13 years old. But it was honestly kind of abusive mentally. Like, because I was going through a lot of shit, and I thought it was okay to be like, oh, look how depressed I am, you know? But being in this community and having people still support me even through all of those times where I wasn't even that good of a person, they have helped me change a lot and see the better in people and the better in myself, and I've learned a lot that I didn't, you know, I could not have understood before without these people, without, you know, people like myself. Hell, I actually used to even be ableist before I realized that 1, being disabled is okay, and 2, I was literally just suppressing my own. And 2, I was suppressing my own symptoms for the longest time. It's just hard to think that, based on the community you're around, it can completely affect your personality. Like, I used to be, like, straight up manipulative, not a good person, a piece of shit. I'd post some really fucked up shit online. Like, mostly regarding, like, suicidal stuff. Hate to say it, manipulative things. But through kind of people that still saw the good in me, I have been able to change. And be better. For not only myself, but the people around me. And I could not be more grateful for how everything has turned out. And for the people that have stuck with me. You know? Like, not to be all sentimental or whatever, but this is just what the fandom has done for me. If I didn't have the fandom and still have people like myself reaching out and supporting me even through those really shitty times and seeing the good in me, I don't know how I would be today. I would probably be a whole different person. Hell, in all honesty, I don't even know if I would be alive right now. So, it's a lot, and I'm so grateful, and I will always stand by this community, like, no matter what. No matter anything that goes on in this fandom, I will always stand by it, and it'll always be a part of me. And, anyway, I think I've gone on rambling long enough. Just wanted to get a video out there so you guys knew a little bit more about myself and how I used to be. So, you know, you would know if you'd actually like me as a person or not, or just so you don't, you know, see something that from years ago about myself and think, oh my god, this person's a complete asshole, because I promise you that is not how I am anymore. I promise you. I do not condone anything of like how I used to be, and I never will be. So please understand that, and that people like you are why I am the way I am now, and that I have changed for the better. I am better at seeing the goodness in people. I don't suppress my fucking disabilities anymore. I don't make fun of others. Honestly, it's like it's just, I honestly just can't thank this fandom enough for everything. Even just existing and being accepting to people like me. And helping me understand that I shouldn't hate certain parts of myself and I shouldn't judge others for the same things. So, anyway, I know I already said it once, but enough rambling. Just wanted to make sure that you guys actually knew a bit more about me before you continued going on watching any of my other content once it's made, considering this is my first real video on this channel. So just wanted all that to be out there, you know, people to understand how I am one way or another, and just my experience with being a furry and why I am still a furry, and, you know, just overall maybe some of my opinions, obviously, and how my opinions have changed throughout time. It's just kind of a dumb little about me video, I guess. So, anywho, thank you guys for watching this. I really, really, really appreciate your support. And hopefully future support, who knows, that's up to you. Would be very appreciated though, but not necessary. And I will see you guys with my next video. Hopefully I'll be able to actually get one out that isn't just me rambling about myself. I would love to make a video about like an actual topic, hopefully relating to the fandom. I did have one in the works about carpet sample. I don't know if I'm ever gonna finish it, but you know, maybe that'll give you a bit of an understanding as to what kind of content I plan on making in the future. But anyway, I will see you guys in another video. Thank you again so much for watching this, and for not getting bored at my ramble. And yeah, maybe bye.